In today's video, we're going to be helping you be able to toilet train or potty train your Siberian Husky as quickly, efficiently, and as easily as possible. Welcome back to the SIBERIAN Husky Show. If you are new here, my name's Will, I'm a canine behaviourist, and this channel is dedicated to teaching you everything you could possibly want to know about the glorious Siberian Husky, as well as how to become a high-level canine leader that can raise perfect Husky companions. So if you're a lifelong lover of Huskies, you're just thinking about getting your first Siberian Husky, then I promise you there's going to be something here on this channel for you. So make sure you subscribe. Now, let's dive straight into today's Q&A about Siberian Huskies. And I've been going through some of my emails. I've been trying to help as many people as I can with their training and behaviour questions. And one that I've noticed is coming up quite a lot, in particular with Siberian Huskies at the minute for some reason. Maybe it's just a coincidence, but it's a lot of people are saying that they're having difficulty and trouble in toilet training or potty training, depending where in the world you're coming from, with their new Siberian Husky puppies. So I thought rather than answering each one of those emails individually, we'll make a video here on YouTube and hopefully be able to help as many people as possible. So let's dive in to toilet training with a Siberian Husky. So when I talk about toilet training, and I've helped thousands of people, especially through my Perfect Puppy course, toilet training is a large part of that and how we do it step by step. But the most important element of toilet training any puppy, Siberian Husky included, is about a consistent and dedicated approach. What too many people do is they expect too much from their puppies too soon. They set their puppies up for failure, they have an accident, and then they get frustrated with the puppy as if it's the puppy's fault. If your puppy has an accident in the house, or number one or number two, it was your fault. You weren't preemptive, you weren't proactive enough, and you set your dog up for failure. Now, I'm not trying to be aggressive or attacking you on that. Everybody makes that mistake. There's very, very few people in the world that have never had a toilet accident with their puppy. But if it happens, you need to remain calm. Rubbing their nose in it, punishing them for toilet training is not a good approach. It's a very poor approach and not something that you should do. If they have an accident, just go, I messed up there, I didn't get to it in time, I didn't plan ahead enough, that was my fault. I'm going to clean it up and clean it up thoroughly, because we want to remove the scent, because dogs will go back to urinating or defecating on the same spot that they can smell all the time. So we want to remove that scent as efficiently as possible, and then we need to go back to a consistent approach. Now, Siberian Huskies, very luckily, are actually very clean dogs, and they're very much denning animals, even more so than many other of the domesticated dog breeds. So they like to keep their dens and their environment extremely clean, which we can tap into really efficiently for toilet training, which is one of the reasons that I like to use a crate for all puppies, and in particular Siberian Huskies. Now, if for whatever reason you're not a big fan of crates, I'm going to do lots of videos on crates and why they're not prisons and why they're not negative in any way. They're actually incredibly beneficial, positive experiences when used right, because we're tapping into that denning instinct of the dog. But if for whatever reason you don't want to use a crate, then I recommend creating some kind of confinement area for your dog that we can keep them in when we're not able to observe them. Make them understand that that's their area and they want to keep that area nice and clean and hygienic, which means that they'll have more of an effort to maintain their bladder and hold their bladder and not have accidents in that area. So that's kind of tip number one. Then tip number two is that depending on the age of your dog, and if we're going all the way to say 8 weeks, I like to recommend that everybody set a timer on your watch or on your phone for on the hour every single hour. Just to start with, it might seem excessive, but on the hour, every time the dog's had something to eat, every time the dog's had something to drink, and then just after playtime and they've got excitable, and then noticing any behaviours such as sniffing the ground, circling an area, warning signs that they're going to the toilet. If you can focus on those 5 things and take your dog outside to the designated toileting area on all of those things, every time they go to the toilet on that area, we praise it, we reinforce it, and we celebrate that success. This is what goes back to what I talk about with the consistency and how important being a calm, consistent leader is for our dog. What we're doing there is we're setting them up for success. We're being incredibly preemptive and proactive. We're following that structure. And then every time the dog achieves success, we're able to reinforce it and reward it and make it a very positive experience, rather than making toilet training or potty training a very negative, annoying experience. So if you can take that approach, it might sound extreme, but it only needs to be for the first few days. And what I recommend you do is make a little note on your phone, or even write it down, on the times that the dog goes to the toilet. And what you'll very quickly realize is that there's a trend. You should always be feeding your dog at the same time and make sure they've got access to nice, fresh, clean water at all times. But you'll notice, okay, I've gone out on the hour every hour, but the last 3 days at 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they've not done a number 1 or a number 2. So what you might be able to do at that point is remove those and focus on 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock, and just keeping an eye on them in between to make sure that no accidents happen. And over that first week or 2 weeks, you'll be able to kind of remove the excessiveness of this approach. Then as they get older, they'll be able to hold their bladder more, because their bladder's growing and their bladder control is growing. So they'll be able to go longer between, so you can remove out those breaks. We break this down very clearly in my Perfect Puppy course, but this is a very quick kind of overarching approach to toilet training in particular. And it's just about being disciplined, consistent, proactive, and preemptive. If you do all of those things, you put in the effort up front, we set our dog up for success, we praise and reinforce that success, and then if an accident happens, we take ownership, because that's what a good leader does. A good leader takes ownership of everything that happens, good and bad. So if something bad happens, you just go, that was my fault, I cocked up, I didn't plan ahead enough, I didn't spot the warning signs, I was lazy, I'm going to clean it up and I'm going to learn from that and not make that mistake again. If you take that approach to it, I can promise you within a couple of weeks, you'll have a dog that understands exactly when and where it should go to the toilet, and you just need to make sure that you're then offering them the ability to do that enough, and toilet training is done. It really is as simple as that. So try not to get wrapped up in any fancy techniques. Try and just remember that nothing with dog training comes easy. It's just about discipline, dedication, and consistency. If you do that, I promise you, you'll have a perfectly well-trained, potty trained and toilet trained Siberian Husky. So I hope that helped. If you've got any other questions specific to Siberian Huskies, drop them down in the comment section below. If you are new here, like I say, and you love the Siberian Husky and you want to learn more, make sure you subscribe so you never miss a future episode of the Femre Husky Show. So we've got 2 Siberian Husky specific videos coming here every single week. So I can't wait to see you on the next episode of the Femre Husky Show.